Hey everyone, Treview here!
No way! I cannot believe it, the guy is a wanker!
Hi, there's no need for that, is there? It's not like I've been away for a year and a half. Oh, wait, yeah, actually I have. Okay, I'll let you have that one. So I'd imagine that a lot of you out there are kind of wondering what the hell just happened, where have I been, why haven't I said anything, and what the hell is my problem? So if you would, sit down, shut up, and let me explain myself. So I guess the first thing to talk about is what happened last year, and why I went AFK for such a long time in the first place. As you have already gathered, I had left YouTube, and me leaving YouTube was essentially the culmination of a couple of things when, put together, ended in me walking away. As you could probably figure out from my videos back then, I had unfortunately gotten to a point where I just wasn't really enjoying what I was doing. This channel started out with top 10 videos, and only top 10 videos, and those were fun to do back then. I loved coming up with new topics and figuring out what I'd put on there and what I'd say about them. The problem though with top 10 videos is that they're not sustainable, and you're either going to run out of ideas eventually, or at the very least, and what I was experiencing, was that I was just covering the same ground over and over again, and that wasn't fun. Eventually this led to me to make top 10 videos, not because I wanted to, but because I was expected to, or at the very least, I expected myself to make them. I tried shaking this up with True Review Plays videos, and honestly I found those enjoyable to make, but given the amount of views they were getting, it's not what people were coming to this channel for, and understandably so. This alone wasn't enough to kick me off the platform, though, as something else happened to occur which kinda, sorta, pushed me over the edge, and I blame YouTube itself entirely for that. Still do, actually. I've not exactly been quiet in the past on my views on YouTube, and I'll say it again, I truly believe YouTube to be a terrible platform to work on, and I have absolutely no respect for it. The problems that were persisting back then are still very much alive today. Even after I went silent for so long, I was still receiving emails that some of my videos were being content ID'd several years after they'd been published, and content ID'd several times over. That one I did near the start of this channel on film adaptations has been hit with more legal claims than I've had birthdays. It's an absolute joke. But anyway, back to the point. The point I'm trying to make is that YouTube's algorithm was the final straw. I was noticing that my views were plummeting, yet my subscriber count was still increasing. 46,000 subscribers, yet not even 1k people watching my videos. 300 views after 1 week. Do people not want to watch my shit anymore? And that's when I realised that it wasn't that people had lost interest in this channel, it's because YouTube wasn't notifying them of when I was uploading new content. How do I know this? It's because I'm finding that when I go to watch other YouTubers. See, the new-ish system requires uploaders to make videos of a very specific parameter. If you're not meeting those parameters, then that video isn't likely to appear in your subscription feed. This means that followers of your channel are going to start thinking that you're not uploading anymore, hence why my views were tanking. And so finally we come to why I left in the first place. I wasn't enjoying the weekly routine of making a video that I didn't really want to make, coupled with the massive dips in views thanks to YouTube dumping on its creators. In the end I got into a position which I can sum up in 2 words. Fuck it. I thought to myself, I'm not enjoying this, people aren't watching this, YouTube doesn't care about this, fuck this. I'm out, and I'm gonna go out in the exact same way I started. As quietly as you like. So I literally just stepped away. I shut down Patreon because why should anyone have to support a dead channel, and that was it. Do I think I did the right thing? No. Which brings me nicely onto why I'm making this video in the first place. Why have I chosen to break radio silence now after all this time? Well, there are 2 reasons for that as well. The first reason is actually you guys. When I walked away... Okay, after doing that, maybe I should just leave again. Sod it, moving on. When I first left, I was kind of convinced that no one would really care that much. My views were dropping like mad anyway, so I was thinking that, well, since hardly anyone is watching this anymore, no one's really gonna care if I left. And yeah, I was massively wrong about that. Even after a year and a half later, I'm still getting messaged by people to come back. I've had comments, emails, and Twitter posts all hoping that I'm doing alright and that they'd love to see me come back. And I have to say, to all of you who did that, that means so much to me to hear that, and I can't apologise enough to you for being crap and just vanishing like that. This channel has been a rollercoaster of a ride with amazing ups and some shitty downs, but hey, that's life, and you've just got to sit back and appreciate all of it in its entirety. Something that I didn't do before. But the second reason I decided to say something is actually to break a bit of good news to anyone who missed my shit, though we'll get to that a bit later on. The reason I've decided to say something again is because it occurred to me that there was something about working on my channel that I really missed, and it brought me back to why I started this channel in the first place. It turns out that I absolutely love angrily complaining about games. It's fantastic. It's such a wonderful thing, and I can't get enough of it. Now, since I stepped away from YouTube, I've mostly played some really good games, Crusader Kings 2, RimWorld, Stellaris, and I found that there wasn't much to complain about those games because they were so enjoyable. That wasn't until recently where I played a couple of games that I had high hopes for, and oh Jesus Christ, were they bad? So bad in fact that I started ranting to myself about how bad they were. Next thing I knew, a thought popped into my head. Darn, isn't it a shame that I can't really talk to anyone about these games? I mean, sure, there are a couple of people I chat with who game, but it's not the same if you're talking to someone who hasn't got a clue what you're talking about, and ranting via text just doesn't have the same impact. You know what? Wouldn't it be great if there was a way where I could just go off on one in a manner that lets me say exactly what I want to say, in the manner I want to say, and to a group of people who have some idea of what I'm talking about? Oh, right. YouTube. And honestly, that's pretty much what started this channel in the first place. I wanted to talk about games, but not many people I know IRL play games, but I still wanted that outlet. Well then, ladies and gentlemen, that's a big reason for why I'm not only making this video, but I'm announcing that True Review is coming back to the YouTube scene. I'm pulling out the defibrillator and shocking this bastard channel back to life. But before anyone starts booing or calling me a cunt, and don't worry, there's plenty of time for that later, I do want to give you a heads up about how this is all going to proceed. First and foremost, top 10 videos? They won't be coming back. I wasn't having fun making those, and I think they've run their course. Sorry to anyone who genuinely enjoyed those, and much love to you for all the support. But if I'm going to start up video making again, it has to be stuff that I want to do, and as it turns out, what I want to do is rant. So all of my videos from this point on are going to be rant videos because they're just so much fun to make. Even when I'm furiously eating my microphone over how bad a game was, I'm still having loads of fun, and I tend to laugh myself silly once I've stopped recording. That's not to say that it will be 100% rant videos, since I might want to do something else, but going forward from this point on is going to have to be on my own terms and not YouTube's terms, because that's what made me leave in the first place. Secondly, I'm going to make a small change to my standard videos, which has conveniently queued in the following rants on True Review itself. But remember all those times where I'd say, like and subscribe and self-promotion crap? Yeah, I'm not doing that anymore. No fucking idea why I did it in the first place. If you like what you see, you'll like or subscribe anyway without me hammering it home, so do whatever you want to do, watch my shit or not, you're free to do so. Comment on whatever you want, as is your right, and if you don't want to like and subscribe, then don't. I'm not going to keep on at it. In addition to this, any video I do make will be in my own time and whenever I want to do it. That whole 1 video per 8 days thing I used to do is hard to do along with a full-time job that I still work, and that even put me in a position where I could just about get that video out, but I wasn't really playing anything, and I'm still a gamer at heart and I want to keep playing games, both good and bad. But before closing out this video, I just wanted to take the opportunity again to apologise once more for not saying anything to you lot before I fucked off. I was so done with YouTube back then that I just left without saying a word, and that wasn't cool. Neither was staying silent for this long. I know that you've all been sat at home, not being allowed outside for so long, and want to watch something where the person presenting the video doesn't give a flying fuck if people disagree with his opinions, and I'm your man for that. I've not had you covered for a while, but I've certainly got you covered now. I'll say my thoughts on the game as I have them, and as honestly and often brutally as I have them, because I want you lot to know exactly what I thought of it. To quote myself in an email I sent to the developer of Dead Effect before making that video, if I think it's bad, I'm going to say I think it's bad. I'll explain why I think it's bad, and I'll show evidence for why I think it's bad. My thing tends to be that I pick a well-loved game and then beat the crap out of it, but if you've come here for warm, cuddly opinions, then you've come to the wrong place. And to prove my point, I'm going to begin working on a rant video for a game that I played recently that everyone seems to love but I thought was a piece of shit. So until next time, where we resume the act of repeatedly kicking a hornet's nest until the local animal protection charity comes and forces us to leave, see ya!